Colin was right.
I said week one, I said Ben Johnson's the right coach. You can talk about Caleb, but what I see from Ben Johnson, I see what I saw in Detroit. He's going to clean it up. The Bears are 5-1 in one-score games, and I don't think what I said is a revelation, but it became very crystal clear by week 2, 3, and 4 that the identity of the team was not going to be Caleb. It was going to be Ben Johnson, precision, a run game, and an interior O-line that they bought in the offseason. I've also always said young quarterbacks are better with young offensive coaches. Once again, LaFleur with Jordan Love helped. McVay with a young Goff helped. Ben Johnson with Caleb has become crucial.
I mean, I don't know if you get to do a victory lap talking about Ben Johnson, who was literally the most sought-out coach, and I mean, in how long? I mean, let's think about some of these newer hotshot coordinators. The Sean McVays, the Matt LaFleur, who then became coaches like Sean McVay, Matt LaFleur, Kevin O'Connell, right? We'll leave like the Andy Reids and the Sean Payneys, right? Guys who have just been more established and whatnot. I mean, it was Ben Johnson, right? It was like the Ben Johnson sweepstakes here. Everybody wanted Ben Johnson, and Ben Johnson knew that he can pick and choose wherever he wanted. He held all the power. You can't watch a single broadcast where they don't refer to him as an absolute genius. So saying I knew Ben Johnson was going to work with the Chicago Bears, it's like, okay. I mean, I guess, yeah, I mean, you and everyone else was right too. I mean, come on. You also said that Ben Johnson doesn't like Caleb Williams. So, but it's just, I don't know. It just makes me laugh. I really do think Ben Johnson, in all seriousness, and I think this is ultimately what Colin is trying to highlight more than anything. Obviously, I'm being tongue-in-cheek with Colin's take there, but Ben Johnson has been exactly as advertised. I remember when he first got hired, John Middle was talking about this, saying like, listen, coordinators, you never know. It's a coin flip. You could be a great coordinator, and it doesn't mean you're going to be a great head coach. And we got examples of that. Josh McDaniels, there's examples all around of this. And he kind of said like, oh, there's like a 50-50 chance that Ben Johnson is, doesn't have it. And Ben Johnson is incredibly serious when it comes to football. But when I saw him interact with his staff and the other people, and especially the other people that are not X's and O's football people, I was like, oh, this is going to work. And I made a video about it. It was when he was addressing the staff and the way he did it. I was like, oh, this guy understands people. Yeah, he's really intense. Yeah, he's going to rub people the wrong way. Like, yeah, when it comes to football, like, he has a way of going about things, right? That's football. That's coaching. That's its own box. And then you have this whole other thing of, like, how are you managing other people that include people that are not, like, yeah, they work within the football, they work in the NFL, they work for the Bears or whatever team, but, like, it's not the foundation of their core. It's not the foundation of their identity like it is for a defensive coordinator, an offensive coordinator, a position coach, right? An actual player. And a lot of times you see people not, coaches not understanding how to do that. And that's where, and I always reference like a Mike McCarthy, he's not the world's greatest coach under the sun. But like any team that's like suffering, any team that's struggling, any team that has a bad coach, like he will make your franchise better because he knows how to run a team. He knows how to run an offense. He knows the football side of things, and he knows the non-football side of things. And so he can manage all of that, and he should get credit for that because not everyone can do that. A lot of people struggle in those situations, and I think a Ben Johnson should get a ton of credit for dealing and navigating a lot of landmines here and a lot of problems. And this team is far from perfect. That's the thing. This team right now, they're 7-3. They're first in the NFC North, but they are far from playing their best ball now. And it's really been the smart game management, the smart play calling, as well as the players like Caleb and the defense and whatnot. But it really does all stop and start with a coach in these moments. Caleb was all on the team last year, and they could not win these games. In fact, they went out of their way to lose these types of games. And so getting Caleb right, getting this offense right, getting this team more organized, more disciplined, 10 games into year one of your head coaching career is quite remarkable. It is incredibly impressive. Think about it. Caleb Williams actually has more experience as a starting quarterback in the NFL than Ben Johnson has experience being a head coach. And make no mistake about it, Caleb looking a lot better. He didn't just magically become better. He wasn't just like in the lab and, throwing footballs and having like music play and like a Nike commercial going on in the background. He's like doing like push-ups and stuff. It's the practice. It's the work that he's putting in with Ben Johnson. It's the plays, the play calls, the play designs, understanding what he needs to do to get Caleb to look more comfortable, as well as obviously the work that Caleb individually is putting in. But I just think the coaching has been absolutely brilliant and a masterclass. And this is why I called out all the other teams that could have benefited from a coach. The Buffalo Bills, the Baltimore Ravens, you know, we can go down the line and it's like, you messed up. You should have fired your coach and made an offer that Ben Johnson just could not refuse. You should have just offered him. You should have just done whatever it took to make that man your head coach. Whatever it took, because what do you got to lose at this point? It's worth it. Try it out. You'd be like, well, we don't know how he is as a head coach. And it's like, all right, well, you know how Sean McDermott is as a head coach. You know how hard our ball is as head coach. Whatever. Just try your best. See what you got. And the Chicago Bears got him. And it can potentially pay dividends for the next like 30 years. Okay? Like you got your Sean McVay, you got your Andy Reid, you got your coach who they really largely become the core and the identity of this team, that it all stops and starts with them. And anytime there's problems, anytime you need to troubleshoot, anytime you need to make a really big decision, it's like you got the guy who you know you can rely on, who you can refer to, who you will trust. This is what we need to do. And it just goes an incredibly long way. We're living in a peak era right now where we're seeing quarterbacks of all different skill sets win. You know, Daniel Jones, Sam Darnold, Baker, Mayfield, M. Jones, Brock Purr, you know, whatever quarterbacks you want to use. And it's largely coaching. And we know what happens when you combine awesome coaching with awesome quarterback play. You get dynasties. That's what happens. You get dynasties. But those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about Ben Johnson and Caleb Williams and the Chicago Bears? How this has all been working under his first season? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I read every single comment, whether you agree with me or disagree with me. Either way, let's get in some discussions. Let's get in some fights. But ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We are building an amazing community here, and absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all generally feel connected to, something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're well on our way to doing it, and please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much.